Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass with JayBee, Millie, and Smash!
And Rhianna!
Hi!
So, today's movie is Scooby Doo Blowout Beach Bash, and this is the second Lego movie. So, for those of you like JayBee and I that haven't seen this before or haven't seen it for a while, Scooby Doo Beach Bash is basically the gang are made of Lego and they are going to...
They're blasted.
They're going to like a fun festival, and basically Velma and Fred have been accused of being the miserable ones of the group, and it's their mission to prove that they are not. Meanwhile, there is a mystery going on involving pirates, old tales, spooky corridors, like pirates' ways, smugglers, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's very like pirate heavy theme. The pirates kind of come back from legend and take the boat. They're looking for a treasure, and of course, as always, the gang's kind of job is to work out who it really is. So I feel like that's a very brief and not very helpful summary if you've not seen it recently.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So with that, let's just get into the movie. Okay, so the movie starts with like a musical intro, and my kind of feelings on this is that like for some reason the music reminds me of Teen Beach Movie, the first one. If we've established you've seen it.
Yeah, this part reminds me as soon as they like get into the old movie that they go into in Teen Beach. It's just like we all of a sudden jumped into this movie and everybody's singing and dancing and you have no idea why. You're just like, we'll go with it.
Yeah, like that scene where they're like carrying them in on like a surfboard and stuff, and it's just just like fun at the seaside. Rhianna, do you remember the start of the movie? What the music was like, anything like that? Do you think?
I remember it, and I did get Teen Beach Movie vibes, and I think the thing is that like with any like movies or crossover, it's just weird from the start, and like I'm trying to remember because it has been a while since I've watched it, but my brain just didn't compute it at first. I enjoyed it, but it was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I feel like it's confusing in that, like, there's a few Scooby formulas that are relatively recurring, like cold opening, titles, you see the mystery machine. Whereas with this, I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't feel like we've seen this before. This is.
I still don't know what it is.
I mean, it is a bit on the bizarre side, but I've got to say, I just like the Lego format. Maybe it's because I'm a bit of a crazy kid, but I just find Lego to be so much fun. Like, I'm very much addicted to these kind of toy aspects. And again, like the first Lego movie with Scooby, I did enjoy quite a lot, and so I did enjoy this. I wasn't expecting a full-on musical number though. That's the thing that caught me off guard, because I thought it would literally just be the same universe as the first Lego movie, but on a beach, as opposed to like High School Musical in the sand. One
thing that I think about this is like I always thought the Goblin King was like the musical Scooby Doo, and this is like the musical too.
The musical of the vampire, because then it's like, we're finally on vacation, I'm going someplace new, and there's rest and relaxation is all we're gonna do. That's my one. But then again, probably more for the song. I love that. I want to get it on vinyl record. Maybe you can find it.
Please?
Maybe.
Let's make it.
Oh yeah, we'll pirate
it. So the next thing is there's like an instant unmasking, like it cuts to this mummy mystery. And I feel like Smash has said this very early on in the Smash or Pass series, but quite often when I see this, I'm like, oh, I wonder what that was. What happened there? What was that about?
Fun fact, this mummy unmasking is actually the unmasking of the original Mummy episode of Scooby Doo, Where Are You?
Oh. I did not know. See, I know something now. This is really good. This is why it's not just us two on a podcast, because we would say nothing and we'd do nothing. Why can't we hire them permanently, eh? Do it. Secure them.
I mean, it's committed to at least get to Courage the Cowardly Dog, so
Oh yeah, then there's then there'll be then there'll be a contract dispute, and we'll probably all go our separate ways until reuniting in 5 years' time to go on a mysterious island together, and we'll do drugs.
I mean, I'm not against that.
Do it. Let's get it done.
I guess a point of conversation that I wanted to have in this episode is, I don't know if if you've seen it, if you remember it, but like when Smash on his channel did a collaboration on the review of Scooby Doo the Sword and the Scoob, it was the first Scooby Doo movie that JayBee and what am I doing with my words?
Well, to be fair, we are back to back recording. We just finished recording the Marty Grabstein interview, so that's going to be premiering next if you're watching this. So go find it on the channel because it's awesome. Okay. So continue now that I've done.
I'm going to try again.
Restart. Check yourself.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody remembers or has seen it, but on Smash's channel there was a collaboration video on like first impressions of Scooby Doo's Sword and the Scoob, and in that movie it was the first one JayBee and I had seen for at least 10 years, and I wasn't a huge fan of Kate Micucci's voice. I thought it was very high pitched to be Velma, and then as we've been doing these watch throughs, I didn't notice the transition too badly. Like, I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's Velma. This is the first movie where I've been like, okay, that's hit a new pitch. Almost like it changed in this movie. Did anybody notice a change in the voice, or is it just me?
I want to say I could be totally BSing this, but I want to say this movie was like one of the first, I'm not going to say the first, but one of the first that came out after Be Cool had ended. And so I'm wondering if like going out of a series, because you know when they're doing a series they're kind of consistently doing the voice, you know, like, oh, every week gotta do this episode, whereas, you know, for a movie they maybe record for 2 months or something and then go a year without doing another movie, you know, and then do another one. And I'm wondering if this was like one of the first movies right outside of that series, so now she was like, well, I'm not consistently doing it for, you know, these episodes, now I'm doing it for, you know, these movies for a little bit, which are farther apart. And so I'm wondering if she kind of was like, oh, I could play around with the voice a little more, because it doesn't have to sound so consistent every week type of thing. But that's just a little 2 cents thought I had.
Yeah. Okay, it's good to have context to that. It's good to know the knowledge behind it, because I don't know, like I said, I feel like I noticed a change because I hadn't minded a voice until this point, but I know that I didn't like it, like distinctly didn't like it in Sword and the Scoob, so like, that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, right. I mean, for me, with Kate Micucci, the more natural her voice is, the better it is.
Yeah, I think Rhianna said that before as well, just like, I think it was in the reunion video, you were saying how naturally she's Velma. Like, I feel like her voice is great, naturally. Even to look at her, I'd say I'd quite happily see a live-action Scooby with her as Velma. But it's like, when she tries to do the Velma voice, is almost like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, because it's not like she's bad. I think that she could have done her first role as Velma at her worst, but then I think she did it at her best, which is weird, because it's like, I think that it sounded very noticeable in Sword and the Scoob, but then it sounded really good in the Courage movie, and so it's kind of like, I think that's maybe part of the problem, because when the next movie comes out, I really don't know if it's going to be good Micucci or a bit jarring Micucci. So I think it's just the inconsistency that's kind of a bit off-putting for me.
Okay.
How I've kind of thought about it with Kate Micucci is that I've noticed with the different art styles of the movies and the series, she changes, and it's quite weird because the pitch changes and then the nasaliness also changes for each like series that's different in art style, because there was quite a big, I mean, I might be wrong, but I feel like there was a big change from her voice in Be Cool Scooby-Doo to like in Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. I feel like there was a distinct change that I noticed in her voice, and I think that it suited the art styles, but at the same time she should have just like spoken normally, I feel.
Yeah, I think so too. Her voice is naturally quite A good Velma. So into the plot of this a little bit more. So basically there's a divide from the start. They start to talk about there being a fun, like 3 people in Mystery Inc. And then that Fred and Velma were the serious ones. Like, I don't know why. I'd never personally seen that divide. I always see, like, maybe Velma as the not so fun one. But, like, all the trips that they go on are blamed on Fred and Velma. Whereas I was like, Samurai Sword's all Daphne, and that didn't work out so great either.
True.
But here's the thing as well, is that in this one, when Fred's trying to defend himself about, like, saying, oh, I'm not obsessed with mysteries and spooky things, and I think, is it Daphne or Shaggy that says, you literally called your car the Mystery Machine? But I always thought it was canonical that Daphne owns the Mystery Machine, so is it Daphne owns it and Fred's vandalized it, or, like, it just wasn't clear.
It kind of depends on which lore you want to go by, because, like, what's new Scooby Doo? They bought it that way, whereas, you know, if you go, like, OG or, like, Mystery Begins, then Daphne her family owned the van, and then they souped it up to be the Mystery Machine, so, you know, it's really whatever logic or timeline, so to speak, you want to go by.
I guess that makes sense. I guess Lego's probably got its own timeline in and of itself, and I'm just thinking, like, if this is like its own separate multiverse, I would unironically but also ironically love to see a version of, like, Lego Zombie Island, because I just think that would be really weird. I think everyone would hate it if it came out as something new, but I really want to be in the multiverse when that happened. I want to see it. I just want to see it once.
No, I've still not watched Return to Zombie Island yet. And I think I'm going to be ill that week, and you 3 can do Smash or Pass without me, because I feel like I don't want to see it.
Jesus.
Well, with Marvel doing everything that they're doing, I mean, Warner Brothers is kind of lazy with Scooby, I'm just going to put it out there. But I really think it would be cool to see a what if series of Scooby, and, like, you know, like, yeah, do a few different Lego versions of things, or what if in Return to Zombie Island they went to the island and got eaten or something, you know, like they're actually, like, that werecat that we see throughout the movie actually gets them or something, you know. I don't know, I think a what if Scooby version would be really cool and could actually, like, service a lot of the fans' wants and desires without actually making it, like, canon, I guess.
See, one thing that I think would be, like, a really sad episode, but I just feel like if you were doing a what if, it'd need to happen.
You mentioned something ridiculously dark. No,
it's not dark. It's not dark at all. It's just dull.
Oh.
An episode where it's like, what if Mystery Inc. didn't do anything? They were just the kids on holiday.
Well, they just sat on the sofa for, like, the 20 minutes.
The fact of the matter is surely in the real world the police are gonna get involved and, like, it'd still be fine. I just feel
so
like...
what, you just got a Fred sat on the sofa with Daphne and Velma while Shaggy's, like, eating, like, did you hear about old man Wickles that got arrested? That's bad, isn't it? So how's the weather doing? That's the series you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
God. Or series, just an episode.
Or JayBee will appreciate this, maybe. What if Scooby and Shaggy went with Crystal and Amber instead of staying with the gang?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yes.
We could get galactic multiverse things. Oh, I would actually love that. That would be the best. And I want to see, like, a multiverse thing where you've got... No, I want Sarah Michelle Gellar to team up with Kate Melton, to team up with Griffin, to go on this awesome adventure. That's what I want to see.
That'd be so fun.
Oh, what about if Daphne left Mystery Inc. and just went on the road as a groupie for Kiss, JayBee?
Oh, no.
Is that how that movie was meant to end?
Yeah,
or with Baylor Hotner.
I think Baylor Hotner would be the less of two evils.
Wait, who was the Hicks guy?
Oh, Ricky, wasn't it? It was Ricky all along. Well, everyone pooed on me when I said this in the previous video, and I said that I think it was our what was the one with Jeepers with Daphne? Was it Frank and Creepy? I said that a part of me wanted Disney to buy Warner Brothers or something, or to buy Scooby, and everyone's like, oh no, Disney owns enough, Disney owns enough. Well, you know what? Screw you people that said that, okay? Because Disney, their main priority, they're money-hungry people, right? Any way that Disney can make money, they will. But Warner Brothers is so unlike that, because I feel like Warner Brothers could, like, poo out 10 Scooby items tomorrow, and they would sell out more or less instantly.
They'd just drop them in Walmart, and the rest of the world would never see them.
Earn money. I want Scooby to be in the hands of some money-hungry person that will give us, like, 10 plushies worldwide a day, and will make spin-off shows about Daphne and stuff. That's what I want, and no one can tell me differently. It's my dream.
And also make the stuff more available to us in the UK.
Yeah, they do just drop it in Target or Walmart, don't they? Like American-only stores.
We want the Hex Girls bag.
Oh, the Hex Girls bag. We do want the Hex Girls bag.
I am, like, the biggest, like, honestly, I feel like
Millie.
of all, growing up, of everything Scooby-Doo, anything that had the Hex Girls, and it was always my favourite.
Is it because they put a spell on you?
I just used to sit and sing to that episode. I'd, like, rewind it and just re-listen to the songs on it. I'm from, like, a very old-fashioned town, so I didn't discover YouTube till I was about 10. Maybe 12. So, like, for me, it was just constantly pressing rewind on the TV, just like, I want to listen to it again.
I'm surprised you were allowed to do that, though. Oh, it was your TV, presumably.
No, my dad was at work, and my mum was sofa-bound for a bit.
Sofa.
I'm putting it politely, she didn't like getting up. So, yeah, I just used to replay the Hex Girls, and, yeah. So yeah, any Hex Girls like merch that's in the US, it should have been brought to the UK.
The Hex Girls don't play. I want to interview all the Hex Girls at once. That's one of my dream interviews.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Maybe one day we'll do it. We'll see. We'll see.
A little task for you, JayBee.
But yeah, it's always good to keep busy.
Because I'll credit JayBee for everything. It's him that messages everybody.
Honestly, yeah, JayBee, you're killing it.
Aww.
You really are.
But full credit to JayBee. I don't get involved.
Oh, I could
Completely
cry
gone off
actually.
topic.
No, that's I actually could cry. It's not often that I feel. Oh wow, thank you.
Go JayBee!
So incredible.
Okay, your moment's over.
No. Thank you so much.
Do you have a like winning speech or anything? Any announcements?
I'm so honoured to accept this award.
Okay, so speaking of awards, we're at the stage where Velma and Fred decide that they want to be awarded the champion of fun or the captain of fun or some
The Funkle.
the fun.
Wait, who?
It's like the captain of fun or
The
something.
Bingo Bash Brigade.
Yeah, what is it? Something like the Bingo Bash.
Captain of the Beach Bash.
Captain of the Beach.
Yeah.
Bash.
So they decide they want to be awarded that and that they're going to be the most fun. They arrive at the town, but the town's empty because the pirates have got involved. Now there is like, JayBee and I had a conversation at this point. You know, in the first Lego movie we discussed, we said it's really difficult to get a scary villain when they're all Lego sized.
Right.
We turned around to each other and was like, have we seen the villain yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't remember seeing the villain.
I know
and the town's empty. So how did that happen? Like, did the villain come and we've just like not written it down?
I mean, I remember that there was a separate group of people that came onto the screen singing like an opposing song. So I thought it was like some type of West Side Story type vibe where there were two gangs on the beach that were like gonna dance fight to like to see who's gonna be the king of the beach, I guess. But I did not remember seeing any pirates in the opening scene at all.
Do you remember this, Smash? Had the pirates been on at this point?
So the only indication of pirates was when everybody freaked out at the end of the opening musical number, and then it like her switched to the gang. Like we didn't see anything; we just saw everybody like gasp and whatever. But no, we hadn't seen any pirates or anything. Like I'm gonna admit, the villain reveal for this movie sucks.
Yeah. It's a very like cop out thing, and yeah. I guess maybe this isn't going to be as short of an episode as I thought. I've got stuff to say about that.
Well, let's not be too hasty because let's not forget, Millie. Are you aware of the current time in GMT?
The current time in GMT is 3:15 in the morning. Woo!
So
doing great.
Do you wanna like we could go clubbing, innit?
No. So they arrive, but the town's empty. One thing I want to say about this is I feel like they've done the Lego background better in this movie. In the first one, we kind of said the items at the forefront are all made of Lego, but the ground wasn't, the backing wasn't. This one, I feel like unanimously it's more of a Lego effect.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because the first one, every single Lego thing was almost a tie-in to a toy that they were doing. Whereas this time, I guess maybe, and they even make a joke about this when some of the houses are all blown up and they're like, oh, they're so old, I don't even think we have the instructions for them anymore. I guess it's because they kind of thought that they'd have to research more into the Lego back catalogue for some background stuff.
I kind of didn't like all the Lego references. I said this last time. Do you remember in the last movie, I was like, it's like they're just blowing things up to prove it's made of Lego.
Right, yeah.
In this one, they just keep mentioning Lego so you know it's Lego. Like, oh, I don't know that we can rebuild this. We've got to put the bricks back together, like push the bricks back together. Or, oh, have you seen how rickety this house is? You need to push the bricks together. Or, we don't have the instructions for this anymore. So, I know it's Lego.
Get people to buy it.
I like the instructions thing. I thought that was...
I feel like I'm a very miserable person, deep down. Deep-rooted, I'm quite a miserable person. I'm very, like, matter-of-fact. So I feel
You're
like...
Velma, that's what you are.
Yeah.
You're Velma.
Thanks for that, JayBee. I am, but thanks.
You wouldn't win the fun cat with it, I'll tell you that fun. Actually, you'd win more than me, because my voice is naturally monotone.
So anyway, because I'm so like matter of fact, I just stuff like this, it's just not appreciated by me. So when it's like, oh yeah, like the bricks aren't even pushed together anymore, I'm like, oh no, I don't like this humor. I'm sorry. How do you feel about the Lego reference comment, Smash?
You know, I feel like this movie came out at the point of like they had already signed a deal to do 2 Lego movies. They had the Lego sets of Scooby that you could actually buy, and then by the time that this movie like came out, the actual like line of Scooby Lego had gotten canceled and whatever, and so it's just this movie just feels so out of place for me. And so at this point they were just like, please buy our remaining Lego Scooby sets. Get them off our shelves, please.
Why was it cancelled though? Was it not selling enough? Because I'm thinking I would buy at least 10 mystery machines just to surround myself with that night.
They must have not. You know, that's my only like logical reasoning. Unless, I mean, there could also be something internally that we don't know. There's always fights or disputes that we never, you know, hear about. You know, someone could have gotten angry that, oh, they made the Headless Horseman have 1 less tooth than I said, and so you're done. You don't get any more Scooby Legos, whatever. I don't know.
I mean, Scooby so about much. Like the Funkos, there's only one of Fred, Daphne, and Velma. Like, what are they doing, man? Give it to Disney. Disney would make it.
I'd say, speaking on like the Lego front, Mario did a collaboration with Lego, and they did it in different series.
Give it to Nintendo.
So like they did it in different waves. So maybe they just did the first wave of Scooby Lego, and it was too much for them to maybe like not enough for them to maybe like want to recommission a license for a second wave of it or something.
I'm sick of it, you know.
You know what else? I mean, we just just had our conversation with Marty. Advertising. I know this is Lego, but like Warner Brothers in general sucks at advertising Scooby. And so like I didn't know there was Lego Scooby Doo until after the fact. You know, I mean obviously there were the movies, but I was like, oh, there's actual sets I can buy? Well, now they're like $200 a set, so good luck with that one.
They must have just hired like one website to say it was good, then like called it a day.
I feel like this may get some backlash, but it does tie in with a bit of what we were saying with the Marty thing.
You villain.
I feel like Warner Brothers haven't managed to adapt to like the modern era.
No.
They are
They really haven't.
Yeah.
They are really good when you have to go into a store and there's a display with Scooby Doo on it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this movie. It's a rainy day today, kids. Let's pick this up because we're going to be inside all afternoon. Or like you're watching Boomerang, so there's adverts on the TV or saying like, this is what's coming with Scooby. This is, you know, Scooby Doo's on all afternoon. Woohoo. Whereas now you can you can like stream it. You don't need to sit through the adverts. You don't need to see all that stuff. So it's kind of like they don't know what to do now, because it all used to be like half-an-hour episodes. Halfway through you'd get your adverts and you'd see stuff. And it's kind of like they now don't know what to do, because that was the formula before.
I just think they need to get. I think they need to get a YouTuber, to be honest. And
JayBee,
I'm not even saying it doesn't necessarily. I actually think it should be like a YouTuber like smASH, you know, that would just like charismatically go on saying, "Hello everyone, it's me, I'm smASH, and this is what Warner Brothers sent me. I'm gonna do something cool and fun with it. Like it's Courage the Cowardly Dog." But I think they just.
That's the dream.
I mean, I'm gonna say that this is where like Pokemon and stuff is doing well, because like content creators on YouTube, admittedly not us, but like the bigger ones, get sent like packs to open to hype up the fact there's a new series coming. Like, I feel like Warner Brothers needs to step back, take a look at the calendar and see what year it is. Sorry, that's a joke that JayBee throws at me a lot.
Well, no, because
and
they're
then
too busy
realise
like,
that they need to change. Nobody is sat watching Boomerang for the adverts anymore. They're on YouTube like, okay, Scooby Doo episodes, while like this little kid's like having an ice lolly watching stuff on YouTube. Like, no one sat watching TV really in the same way.
Kids aren't going on like websites or on Facebook to see Warner Brothers boosting their post about a Scooby Doo.
And like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm maybe a cynical old woman, but like when I was a kid, when I was young, I used to love at Christmas getting like catalogues from, I think Rhianna will get this reference because it's a UK thing, but from Argos, they used to do this huge catalogue every Christmas. It was like 1,000 pages of all they sold, and every Christmas I'd get a copy for me and my 2 nephews, and we'd sit and look at the book and we'd cut out everything that we wanted. So that's another way of advertisement that people would get stuff. But now they don't make those booklets anymore. It's all online, and kids aren't going to sit and scroll through websites of what do I want for Christmas. So it's just like, I feel like they need to reevaluate their marketing technique, and I feel like maybe a larger involvement with the Scooby community, because it's very much that we have to like gain information from them. They never approach us with the information. Like, I just feel like engaging with YouTube would be a big way for them to step forward.
Yeah.
Well, you could even
YouTube.
You could even take you could even take the example of Scooby Doo and Guess Who. You know, we needed for the longest time the second half of season 2 to come out. At least for here in America. I don't know about the rest of the world, so to speak, but you know, the rest of season 2 had been appearing everywhere else, but America, and the Scooby Doo and Guess Who had been being put on the Boomerang streaming app, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue in October, the rest of those episodes that we still needed showed up on HBO Max, and it was just like, well, now, okay, first of all, no promotion, you're not telling anybody. Second of all, that's so confusing, because here we are, we have our subscription to Boomerang, we're watching this series, we're waiting for the next episodes. Oh, haha, now you gotta pay us for HBO Max to finish that series. And it's just like, where's this communication? Who decided this? Why is it so confusing and so hard to get to at this point? And I don't know if you guys have HBO Max, but at least for here, when I'm watching anything on HBO Max, a lot of times before your show actually starts, they do some advertisements. It's like 30 seconds of advertisements, and it's like, this is a streaming platform now. I'm not here to watch TV. I don't need your commercials. You know, like, again, as you guys were saying, take a look back and see what year it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is mad, but I think sponsorships and whatnot almost can be a limiting factor. So say for some reason Warner Bros like emailed us and said, you know, this Smash or Pass thing is pretty good, right? Yeah, we like you all. Some of you have got dead sexy British accent, and you know, people are very informative. We like what you're doing, so we'll sponsor you. We'll give you X amount, or we'll send you a care package every month. Just keep doing your thing. I'd be a bit worried, right? Because I saw on YouTube 2 positive reviews for Return to Zombie Island, and both of them started with "Thank you, Warner Bros, for sending this DVD." And instantly, I was like, "Oh, you fake piece of garbage! Look at you selling out." But then, okay, Smash, who wasn't sponsored, because I was just listening back to this because I was feeling nostalgic. Our initial episode, the 5-star talk episode, and they mentioned that they were in the minority, that they thought that it was pretty good. And because I know that they're not sponsored, so I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. I think, you know what I mean?
Still haven't.
It added credibility to it almost. And so if we started everything like, hey, Jeepers everyone, it's Smash or Pass with JayBee, Millie, Smash and Rhianna. Huge thank you to Warner Bros for sponsoring this. If I'm listening to a show like that, I'm instantly thinking, okay, what are they holding back on? What are they not saying?
It should be in Warner Brothers' disclaimer and agreement that you don't say that they're affiliated.
Well, isn't that the point, though? No,
just that they are encouraging you to keep doing the content. Like, say if I was Warner Brothers, it'd be an agreement, say, like, with Smash. Like, hey, like, this is what's happening, we'll give you the information, but don't state that, you know, okay, so this is, like, collaborated with Warner Brothers. Because then it is just like, okay, so this is biased. Like, not to, like, make you sign an agreement that you're going to say that everything's positive, but at least not, like, put out there, okay, this is brought to you by Warner Brothers. This was the best movie they've done so far.
The positive thing isn't necessarily an agreement that they say, but I think a lot of the times, if they're sponsored, say, we'll send you Courage the Cowardly Dog, you know, just, you don't need to say anything, just here we go. If you then release a video or a blog or whatever, completely pooing all over the movie, I think as a creator you're a bit scared that they won't send you anything else. So there's almost like an unwritten thing of almost say this is good and you will keep on sending you free stuff and you validate it as a creator, or you just get it for free.
I feel like we've maybe missed out on any chance that we have if that's the case, because in this episode already I've actively said I don't like Kate Micucci's voice sometimes, and
I mean, I would accept...
in the reunion I feel like me and Smash maybe said something.
Right?
I think I said the worst thing that I'm not gonna... I really should have edited that out, to be honest.
Yeah. For anybody listening to this that's not seen the reunion, okay, there's a moment in it, and Rhianna announced that Kate Melton has watched the video that we did for the reunion.
Oh no, why?
I'm not going to say what it was, but there's a moment in it, and he's typed me a message while we've been recording this, like, that means Kate Melton heard me say this, and I was like, that's great.
She already knows you've got a crush on her, so it's all okay.
It's just out in the open now.
Right. Can I leave? Can I go? I'm not... Can I...
We love you, though.
Oh. Right.
Are you good? But something else that we're going to say, like,
why are you giving... I'm traumatized.
Okay. On the, like, Guess Who thing, and, like, Warner Brothers and Communications, I feel like what's Guess Who should have been their most successful series, because they should have had all the guests on that promoting it. And I just feel like it wasn't. Like, for example, when we had Kate on the show, obviously, like, we didn't, like, make her do it, but she, you know, posted about it. She was really, you know, helpful, supportive.
Right.
And through her support with it is how we met Rhianna, I'd say, really.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and like
it's crazy.
So surely they should have managed to get a bit more support from the features to big it up a bit.
See, the thing that really bugs me about Guess Who is the fact that there's so many, you know, well-known stars. I mean, on the one, I don't really follow her career, but I think it was Maddie Ziegler was on there, and I went back through her Instagram and everything, thinking I would find posts. I found nothing. Yeah. And it's like, even if, you know, I get it, you know, sometimes you're not paid to promote, so you think that it's not your responsibility, but surely the stars should promote it anyway, because it's like, this is an example of my work, it will get me more work. But I feel like, and this is another thing that with Warner Brothers that really bugs me, is they seem to only focus on like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, and Scooby Doo. Like, I love Scooby Doo and I love, you know, the others, but there's other cartoons. They focus so much on the DC universe, which, I'm sorry, a lot of the DC movies kind of suck, but you know, they're not really they're not putting that energy sorry
Right.
they're not putting that energy into promoting ones like I just, it makes me angry, but they don't promote things enough. They don't promote the Scooby Doo merchandise. They don't make it widely available. And yet with something like, you know, the DC, like Batman versus Superman, that was worldwide. Everyone knew about it. Everyone could get, you know, I saw when I went into Sainsbury's when it first came out, there was a Batman versus Superman watch. Like, come on, where's the Scooby Doo merchandise? Where are you promoting Scooby Doo? Stop promoting a movie that I personally didn't like. And, you know, it just, they're putting their focus on the wrong things. They've got a well-known established thing that will instantly draw people in. They're not promoting the smaller, like, side projects, if that makes sense.
I think what you're saying is completely right in that, like, and it was kind of what we were saying before, there's that old mentality of like, oh, this is how you do stuff, but it's like, we're in a different era now. Like Batman versus Superman, it was in the cinemas and that's how they got the views that they did. It was going to be teased on cinema trailers. You know, the cinema was going to promote it for them. I feel like their promotions is just like, okay, so JayBee and I like work in marketing and like, it's just all, what I see from Warner Brothers is just not good. Like, so like, again, going back to the Grabstein interview, when one of the movies was released, he had to ask for the copies. If it was like, if this person, like, they are the title character, Courage the Cowardly Dog, you would send them like a gift basket with the DVD in it. Like, hey, look how amazing this is. Like, post this on your Instagram.
I would hire a masseuse to go to their house to like tickle their toes and like give them a massage. That's what I'd do. I'd like fruit bowl. I'd send them a little plushie. I'd legit.
Or like,
even,
he was saying, like,
you know
do
what I mean?
some event, get them involved where they're going to be posting like, hey, this is what I'm doing today. Because we know for a fact they're active on social media. It's how we've got in touch with them.
Hashtag Warner Bros.
Because they do have an interest in that level of interaction. It's clearly that they're just not evoking it from them enough. Either that or they're terrible at negotiating contracts, because I'd have put it in the contract they at least had to do one post to promote it. Like, if you're paying them to be on the episode, get your money's worth from them.
Could they not have done an interview like we did? Again, this episode technically goes out before, and maybe stick half of it or a shortened version on the DVD extras, or just like slap it on the YouTube, the Warner Bros. YouTube page, or the Instagram. Like, what are they doing? That's what I don't understand.
Okay, I have 2 points here that I want to quickly bring up. Hopefully it's quick. One, going back to the Scooby-Doo and Guess Who thing. You have to think with each of those episodes, since they have these guest stars, you know, they're putting a bit more money into that to pay them to come guest star in the show. You know, like, you could take one, say, like Morgan Freeman. I'm sure he was not cheap to get. You know, and so it's like, you're gonna want to promote that series a lot more to get more money so that you can make up for what you just had to spend on all these guest stars.
Yeah.
But no, okay, whatever, you do you. But also, Warner Brothers uses Scooby Doo to kind of either introduce or reintroduce properties, you know, within different franchises and stuff. Like, you could say The Courage, you know, it had been how many years since Courage has been on screen, and of course they're going to use Scooby-Doo to reintroduce him to the world, and, you know, and so it's because they know people are going to buy Scooby-Doo. You know, it's like, if parents or whatever see Scooby-Doo on the shelf, they're going to be like, oh, we know that's safe to watch, we're going to get it for our kids. oh look, there's Courage, or who knows what other character or property, you know, like the wrestling even, you know, it's like, oh, there's John Cena with Scooby Doo, this is cool, I like wrestling, and Scooby Doo's gonna be safe, so I'm gonna buy this to introduce my kid to wrestling and all these other athletes and whatever. Or like the rumored crossover movie, you know, if that is true, if that movie does come out, then we obviously know why they're doing it, because they're trying to introduce this generation to who Crypto the Superdog is before their cinema movie Crypto, or the whatever DC Superdogs movie comes out. So then more kids are like, oh my gosh, I just saw him in with Scooby Doo, now I want to go see his movie on the big screen. And so it's like you literally know what you're doing, but you suck at it.
Yeah, like they are hopping on things that are trending, but they aren't engaging with it. Okay, so like, again, like bringing it back to like the marketing that JayBee and I do, we did this marketing for a company where you have to do a post every day, so you see what National Day is, like National Pajamas Day and stuff, and you do a post that links to it because it's topical, it's how you boost followers, you just do it. They are doing things that are topical, like crypto, and then they aren't doing anything about it. They aren't doing the social media side of stuff where they're, you know, hashtagging crypto every 2 days to make sure that it's there with the trend that people are seeing. They know what they're doing, they just don't know how to do it. I agree with you completely. Yeah, back onto the movie.
Because
anyway,
I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, back in the movie.
I love this actually. Though. I love this. If we weren't doing reviews, I'd happily just record for a few hours or so every week. Because this is fire.
It is. So they are about to arrive at the hotel where they're staying.
I hate myself.
There's like the keys hanging on the walls to like represent how many rooms are free. There wasn't enough rooms. There's the cute little couple that own it that come across as quite sweet, and then they have the world's brattiest kids.
Was it Chrissy and Chad?
Yeah, they're awful.
Who goes about with kids like that, though? Seriously, surely there's kids like that they don't exist.
Instant theory was that, like,
if we have kids like that, I'm gonna be depressed.
Instant theory is the reason
I know some people with kids like that.
Yeah, I do too. And
wait, who?
I'm not saying, because I know people that watch this.
But can they not be correct?
I don't want that clipped and said to them.
Well, if you just like, if they start acting up, could you not just lightly push them down the stairs as like a bit of like?
Instant theory is that basically these kids won, and so they're brats, and the reason they stole the like captain hats was because they didn't want these kids to be brats anymore.
Oh, to be fair, no, I think kids,
and then they
kids
bully
are a glorious
Scooby
thing.
and call him Strange Dog.
I mean, he is a bit of a strange dog, but in the best way possible. Strange dog, SD. Oh, and they make fun of Fred's ascot, which is it's too far, that is, because the ascot's iconic.
So at this point, I have literally put in my notes, the parents are the pirates because they don't want their kids to be brats anymore.
But they don't bully Daphne, which I think gives them a +1.
There you go. So we see a little flashback, and there's all the tunnels and stuff, so it sets the scene quite nicely, it's quite interesting. And it does also set up the kind of vibe that the parents are like the experts on like the pirates of the area. So I feel like it's kind of giving a lot away very quickly.
But they're old though, so you kind of think maybe not. Like, when was the last time you saw an extravagantly old Scooby Doo villain like that's going about running and jumping? I can't think about one. Like, as of recent. It's always just been like kind of a bit of a spunky kid, or it's been. Well, I guess you can get like creepy janitors and stuff, but they're not like geriatric. And this he's like limping, isn't he? He's like an old geezer.
And we also meet Monkfish, the pier owner, as well, who's obviously quite grumpy, but at the same time, we're kind of made aware there's going to be 2 villains, so. Obviously, it's directing you more to the couples, either the parents or the children. That's set up from the start.
Oh, I guess they've got their assistant, which is it could be them as well.
So we meet a lot of characters quite quickly. So, Rhianna, what's your opinion on all the characters that we've kind of met within this time frame?
I'm trying to think how to say it nicely about the kids. But because they're Lego, you know, I would rip their heads off.
I'll just melt them with a candle.
Yeah, man.
Give them to the year sevens.
You know, I just, I will, like, it's been so long since I've watched this, and I think there's a reason why it's been so long. And, you know, I just don't know at this stage. My brain is not functioning.
I mean, to be fair for Rhianna, it is heading towards 4 a.m. in the morning for us right now. So it's doing well to hold it together.
Almost a whole 24 hours of me being awake. So.
Oh gosh.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I think we're just like UK
We did throw this at Rhianna, like straight after the interview, like, hey, we're doing this next. Do you want to join? Woo!
Yeah, I'll talk about Scooby, and then we go on a complete rant about how Warner Brothers suck.
Half an hour run.
We love you, Warner Brothers. Let's do better.
Yeah, please sponsor us, and we'll
be nice. We'll be nice to you.
Yeah.
So my next point on sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
you okay?
no, it's okay. I thought, well, is there a character called, is it Mitzi?
Yes.
And like she tells a poem, doesn't she?
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Yeah, she does. And then the dad acts like he doesn't know the poem, and it's a bit like, ooh, that's something that they like pick up on later. Like, they should have known that. I think that's what I'm thinking about. My next question, to see if anyone else thinks this, I was really confused with, you know, when they go to look around the boat, you know, because it's Lego, everyone looks really similar. Do you not think the guy looking around the boat with them looks like the dad?
Yeah.
For the longest time,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's okay. It's just the guy from the hotel they're staying at. He must have 2 jobs. Because like the dad was such an expert, he knew about it, so it's like it just made sense that he'd be working on the pirate ship. They both have the same mustache. They look the same. Other than I think one's bald and the other had hair, but I'd not picked up on that at that point. I just thought it was the same person.
Lazy and didn't want to make a complete new model.
Yeah. Did anyone else like get confused by that, or am I just like on my own with that?
I wasn't confused, but I was a bit. It reminded me of that monster from Monsters University that was like the can design teacher.
Yeah.
Just a bit like that, and I was like, is that the same person? And ultimately, I just thought it was like a funny joke that they stretched out a bit too long. Well, way too long, actually.
Okay. Then, so the gang had split up at this point. Shaggy and Scooby were on the boat looking around. Fred and Velma were going to the Octo Rock Lounge, where they were going to start their mission to be the fun people. So they get some new outfits here. I think Fred's shirt was really actually quite cool. Like, it genuinely looked like a picture of like a sunset.
I like both their outfits in this, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then, along their quest to be fun, this is where they do the jinky, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they try and speak to the 2 bratty children who are like, hey, go away, go away. And then Velma falls over and makes it into a little dance. And so they're doing the jinky for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do the jinky.
I don't know if I'm getting old and
Do
boring,
the jinky.
but I'm a bit sick of like the quirky dance of an animation or something being a move that someone has done out of clumsiness or like just something like that. Like I guess it works in some things.
And
Like I enjoy how they do it in like a Goofy movie where it's like how Goofy like fishes, but just like having a character fall over and that's like a main part of like the story going forward.
And
it's kind of like,
can we say they are Lego? There's only one way that leg is gonna bend, and it's the way that it did. It's not that revolutionary.
like can Velma not just be good at dancing? Can that not just be like a hidden talent or something? Like, do we need to make Velma clumsy? I don't know.
But all the like, I'm just gonna keep calling them the brighter children because I don't know their name. their friends like abandoned them to dance with Fred and Velma. So we're like, oh wow, Fred and Velma are doing it. It was maybe too easy for them, but they're the cool ones. They're doing the jinky.
Like doing the scorn.
And then Daphne arrives and she kind of gets ignored and she's like, oh, this is a bit weird. They're been fun, okay. Shaggy and Scooby arrive, so everyone's kind of there, and Fred and Velma are just in this. I thought at one point they've been hypnotized because they just start to get obsessed. Because they're like, okay, look, we can do this with the mystery. And they're like, yeah, but there's a limbo contest tomorrow. And it's like, no, you're Fred and Velma. You've not had like this personality transplant. It isn't the 2002 movie and your souls have been ripped from your body and replaced with someone else's. It's been 5 minutes. There's been one dance. I don't get it. Why are you suddenly like this?
Although I do like the characterization of like when the sensible ones turn fun, the kind of inherently fun ones start to panic, because I feel like a sensible one is necessary. Like I think with us, Millie, like I always have a joke that like sometimes you're not fun enough.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I feel like if you did lose all your sense of responsibility, I would panic instantly. I don't think I'd be able to continue.
When I lose my sense of responsibility and order and like, just I'm a very organized person. I like to have a routine. I like to be very boring, and everything has to be done as the list says. The second that list gets deviated from, I throw the towel in and everything goes to chaos. Like mess ensues. The room looks chaotic. It's just.
Yeah, man.
You said it earlier on. I'm the Velma.
You are the Velma.
It makes me sad. I shouldn't say that. It doesn't make me sad. I like Velma. Okay, so we see the villains, Blue Pirates. We kind of said in the first one we didn't know how scary you could make Lego villains. smASH, how did you feel about these ones?
I don't know. It's okay. It's not that I don't like pirates. Like I like pirates. I just felt like, I mean, it had been a while since Pirates Ahoy, but for some reason, I don't know why I felt this way with this, but not like Music of the Vampire and Legend of the Vampire. But I felt like for this one, I was like, we've had pirates. Why couldn't you come up with something different? Like, I don't know, some weird sea creature or a sand monster or I don't know. But I also just really like the pirates of Pirates Ahoy. So these ones just I will say I actually really like the detail of them being this weird like blue translucent illuminated glow thing. Like I thought that was kind of a cool little detail for them, you know, being Lego and whatever. But overall, I was really just like unimpressed with them.
Yeah, what kind of like irritated me about this and even the last movie as well is that it's the medium of Lego where you can literally make whatever you want. And in the past with Scooby, we've had such out there villains like, you know, a robot version of the Loch Ness Monster. But in like the Lego movies, the two villains have been based on humanoid creatures like the Headless Horseman, a zombie, and then pirate. And it's like you could literally have a massive flying tentacle creature. And we're still limited to little minifigure villains.
Okay, Millie's gonna get creative for a second because I'm quite like dull and not very out of the box. But what you could do is you could have like almost like, you know, the tar monster. It's flat along the ground. Just build up the bricks of Lego. Like they have constrained themselves to these figures that are the size of the gang and everything. Just have all these like pieces that build together. Like they like doing the play on it being Lego and making a point of it Lego. You can have all the clicks of it fitting together as it builds itself up from the ground. It could be quite cool like that, right?
Yeah, or we could even have like this master builder making evil versions of the gang, or like, oh, what if the master builder, actually that would be a bit too like Monsters Unleashed or like Nostalgia Bay, but the villain could have been like a master builder that really likes Scooby and they tried to like make iconic Scooby villains. Like, oh, it could be set in a toy store and the villains could be people. They could have bratty kids be the villains. It would just be set in like a Toys R Us. Let's make this happen. Millie,
It could have been better.
Email.
Rhianna, what did you think to the villain for this?
Sound cut out for a second.
Sorry. I was just asking you, what do you think to the blue pirate villains?
Okay, so I'm very much agreeing with Smash on this because, you know, there's certain parts that I like with the design of like the blue translucent part, but it just, and I think it does, again, it takes me back to like Pirates Ahoy, where those pirates scared me. They, like, that whole movie has stuck in my brain and I love it so much. And I was like, there could have been something better because I feel like once, especially there's a monster or something that's extremely scary or like it's such a good movie and really stands out, like Pirates Ahoy, it's not really good to, I don't want to say it, but like rehash a villain because I feel like in some ways they tried to create another pirate that would be just as terrifying and, you know, is interesting, but it just didn't work. They could have had like a kraken, you know, from the deep ocean, and they didn't. It's just too many missed opportunities, and you know, they could have even done because there's Scooby Doo Playmobil versus Lego, like
Yeah.
that would have been more like creative than, but yeah. The design was cool, but just I feel like it didn't fit in.
Mm-hmm.
You could have even done a crossover with Lego Batman. That'd be interesting.
Okay, so I think so I feel like there's some kind of unanimous opinions on the villains, really. Moving on with the story, I'm just gonna keep referring to them as the dad. The dad says they did tours before their accident. This is where the dad is revealed to have the walking stick, right? I think. And one of my theories there was that they must be the pirate because if you saw, the male pirate had a wooden leg. And so the dad has a walking stick, so I was like, all right, that makes sense. And it's never explained. It doesn't explain how, like, the person who was in the costume when they did the reveal would have ever managed to do that. It's just like, oh yeah, it's Lego. You can just swap one leg out and put another in. It's just a case of
they were slower.
Swapping heads. Do you know what I mean? Like, I miss the bit at the end where Velma's like, and this is how they did it. It was just like, hey, it's Lego. You just swap the heads. It's like, no. I don't know why. That was one of my pet peeves. So the Mystery Inc. then get taken to their room. They're kind of having this argument over, like, you know, you need to, like, stop being so involved with this. We need to sort the mystery out. And they end up in one of the tunnels. They hear there's some kind of conversation with the family. They see the police station. They're building furniture there. And ultimately, they come out in that kind of cave where the boat is. And that was quite a cool scene. I liked seeing that. It reminded me of, like, some, like, iconic-ish movies, like, what am I thinking, like Peter Pan, where they hide the boat in the cave, the Goonies.
Or even Pirates Ahoy.
Pirates Ahoy. There was just, like, I don't know, just seeing the pirate ship in the cave just was like, ah, yeah. That reminds me of a movie that I like. That part makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did quite well making a Lego pirate ship. I guess I enjoyed the kind of visual there as well. That was good.
Oh, it's just great. I have fun with it though. I'm having fun with it.
I feel like if you get rid of our little tangents, I'm skipping over this plot very quickly. And like, I feel like our tangents are like the main part of this episode because I just don't have much to say.
Yeah, but
if anyone else has anything to say and I've skipped over a part you're interested in, please feel free to say it. So yeah, they arrive at the pirate ship.
In the end.
Pardon, sorry?
I said I'm interested in the end when the credits have rolled.
Yes, we're about that. Okay, so they arrive at the pirate ship. They free the two, like, people that were kidnapped before. And and then they start to make a trap. Shaggy and Scooby collect wood, at which point the pirates arrive. Yeah?
They kidnapped Brenda and Tommy, and for some reason I thought that was the name of the couple that were in Mystery Incorporated that were always caught at the wrong place at the wrong time. But I don't know if that's true or not.
SMASH.
I'm gonna hurry and do a quick Google search, sorry.
Because I love Mystery Incorporated, and if we ever do get round to the series, which I'll be honest, I'm doubting it, you know.
No, we'll do it.
Look, if it was
okay, everyone, we're on recording. Can we get an agreement that Rhianna will
if it was 3 years ago, I'd say yes, but I'm not getting any younger. You know what I mean?
Other than JayBee calling his life expectancy into question, the rest of us were down for the series.
Well,
I'm down for it. Although watching the Scooby Doo show might be a bit difficult since Warner Brothers refuses to put the complete collection out on DVD.
on
Yeah.
iTunes.
We're gonna have to like do communal viewing and get SMASH to stream it for us.
Well, I guess I'll do
got
that
it. We
up
got
until Shaggy and Scooby Doo get a clue, and then I'm peacing out very swiftly.
No, we're doing it
I'm
all.
hoping we have a kid by then that can take over as co-host, though.
If we have a child, they're not gonna be at talking age by the time we reach that.
Trust me, with my genetics, they'll be at talking age.
With your genetics and your personality, they're gonna pretend they can't talk just so they don't need to talk to people.
Yeah, they'll want to talk about Daphne, though, surely.
Oh god.
Wait, we could...
So, who is the couple in this movie?
It's Brenda and Tommy.
Okay, so in Mystery Incorporated, it was Brenda and Dylan.
Oh,
So close, JayBee. Although that would have been really cool if they'd done that.
yeah, Brenda could be having an affair.
I mean, she did leave him eventually.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Canon. So let's do it.
That's possible.
Things are spicing up in Scooby Doo.
Ooh.
Yeah, get it, Brenda.
Oh my
Who's
god.
with who?
Where's the
Ooh.
real lie detector?
That should be the next Scooby series. Scooby Doo, who's with who?
Tommy, you are not the
my
father.
Have like a reality show about who's dating who.
Oh my gosh, how good would that be?
Imagine Daphne actually on a break.
I was just saying that. Imagine having Fred and Daphne on one episode, the amount of like extra guests they can have, just like, hey, this is the guy from Kiss. Yeah, but this is the camp like counselor from Camp Scare.
Scooby Doo the soap opera.
Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
God.
gosh.
But the amount of perverts he could have on Velma's episode. Like,
I just want Ben Ravencroft.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, he's a legend.
Oh
isn't
my
he?
god.
He was the only one of Velma's love interests that wasn't a pervert.
This is a little tangent, but in the group class with Kate, we're doing a short film, and we created our characters and everything. I called mine Sarah Ravencroft, and I basically took characteristics from her, and no one got the reference. But inside, I'm like, I felt very smug about it.
I think
That's
we all get the
amazing.
reference. I can't believe they didn't get the reference.
No, neither can I. Like, I feel like surely 50% of the people, like, tell me if I'm getting this wrong, but for me, if I was having acting lessons with Kate, a good 50% of my excitement with that would be that they were from Scooby, right?
To be fair though, I could not, like, I'd be too excited, I wouldn't learn anything, I'd just be fizzing. Like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I don't think I'd have
I want to get you
that.
three. I want to get you three into the group class, like Thursday nights going into Friday, although it's changing soon, and for 2 hours. And the thing is that like us four can partner up on a scene, and then like go into a breakout room with Kate to work on it, and not get anything done, and it will be amazing.
I'd almost do that as an episode of Smash or Pass, you know, because the lessons are done virtually. Just have all four of us do an acting lesson with Kate.
Oh, you know what?
And just
Then again, I think that would almost be. I think it would do Kate a disservice because she would have to tone down her lesson quite a bit so that everything she teaches isn't just free for people to see.
Yeah.
So it would be a bit dicey. But if we could do something, that would be a dream. I think that would be a funny video because I think we could do some funny stuff with it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'd love to act.
If Kate had any concepts like that she would like to do, I'd literally sign up for anything like that. It would just be so fun.
Talking with her.
If Kate wanted to do a series where she throws heavy objects at my head, I'd be up for it. Like,
yeah, just anything she thinks of. I agree already. I may regret that.
4 a.m. thoughts. This is what happens when it reaches 4 a.m.
Oh no.
This is the best time to talk. Like, just after the interview we've just done, I feel like we're all so happy, and like, I feel like at 4 a.m. you either reach a level of exhaustion or you just re-enter like a second level of energy.
I don't think I'll be able to sleep after this. You know?
I don't. I feel so awake. It's insane.
Poor Rhianna.
I'm so sorry, Rhianna.
I've hit the exhaustion wall, but my brother's just bought me some blueberries to snack on, so I'm getting through.
Perfect.
Oh gosh. I feel like we're just gonna start messaging like video ideas over to Rhianna, just like, hey, this would be cool with Kay.
Oh gosh.
Oh, but yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, this is why I like doing this, because I feel like in like 5 years' time, the goodness knows where we'll be there. I can just re-listen to some of these episodes and just go, look at that. How fun. How cool.
In 5 years' time, we're all still going to be friends.
That's
At
very
least
true.
I hope so. And
We better.
we'll all pitch in and get a mystery machine.
Yep.
And drive around in it aimlessly and like go to places and be like, put a mask on and we want to hunt you down, random person.
Me and JayBee can have like a Scooby Doo themed wedding that we can all like meet at.
I think I'll be dead in 5 years.
Tie-dye wedding.
Oh yeah, we could have a tie-dye wedding. That's what we could do. Yeah, we could have lava lamps.
We have to be invited though.
Well,
Yes.
obviously, yeah, we'll do it. We will legit do it.
We were speaking to some of our friends that we met through YouTube in America, from America last night, and they were like, JayBee and Millie getting married is like the excuse I need for a holiday, you know? Just make sure you give us a few months notice, but I need a holiday. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, our wedding's literally just going to consist of like 20 people that we've never met before.
Yeah, but then my staff will just be
Suddenly
smash,
showing
like,
up.
sat in a room like, this is fun.
I'm like, literally, like, our invite list.
Everybody has their cameras out to vlog it.
Oh wow.
I feel like the invite list for our wedding is going to be 50% people that we've met through doing YouTube, spoken to on video more than we speak to our own family. Never met.
I actually do think you know what, actually, though? I'm not even gonna lie. This annual year, I think I've spoken to Smash more than I've spoken to my parents.
Your parents combined, and that's true.
Yeah. And I like it as well. In fact, I
so
want to
loved.
speak to Smash more. If I had it in me, I'd do this every day.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
What's the search? Right,
Right, well, we're really near the end of this. We can do this. Okay.
I'm going crazy.
So, the trap doesn't work. The kids that escaped rescue the gang on a little boat, and they head back to shore. The pirate boat manages to smash through the rock and escape the cave.
Smash.
It then
They have a fire campsite.
It like shoots
Fireside.
cannons onto the beach, and there's just a whole lot of hectic stuff. It destroys all the buildings.
Captain Barbosa.
The airplane that says all hope is lost.
Right, my pet peeve with the aeroplane is, and I don't know what's happening. I've genuinely entered this like weird level of sleep deprivation. Because I was nearly like expiring then. I don't know how that even happened. The thing that upsets me with the aeroplane is I don't know if it's that our TV's terrible, but I can't read what it's saying.
It's too far away.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what if it's my eyesight that's wrong, if it's Warner Brothers that have produced it differently. I can only read what like half of the airplane says.
They wanted to give us a moment where we all say, "I can't see without my glasses."
Yeah. I am Velma. I knew it.
My glasses.
Okay, so the pirate ship thing happens. Then the parents are like, "Oh no, we're gonna have to sell." The assistant goes against the pier owner. I'm really skipping over this plot quickly.
Are we of the mindset that the assistant and the boss have something going on? Because I think they are. I strongly suspect that.
No, he says that she's like the daughter that he never has, even though he's got 3.
Yeah, all creepy old people say stuff like that. Believe me, I know. I think he's just another pervert. He's just a Lego pervert.
You think Scooby Doo's full of them, don't you?
Well, I think I could make a list of perverts. In fact, we should interview all of the voice actors that have played these perverts and do like a pervert cast.
Okay, so your concept of this is you're going to email these acclaimed actors like, "Hey, in episode 12 of Smash or Pass, I called you a pervert. Come on our podcast, do an interview." No, JayBee.
Do you think that was part of their character description? Pervert.
Must be pervert.
Oh god.
Pervert as you please.
Oh god. Okay, so we're coming up to the unmasking basically. Like, they're like, "Do you know what? Like, let's do this event. We can do this event. It'll be great. You two be the bait, the kids that like saved them because they want the hats, and you two are going to win the hats." But then the pirates go after Fred and Velma, and they're like, "Oh yay, we should have won. This is great. We're really happy." Then there's like a chase scene. Ultimately, they catch the pirates, and then there's the unmasking, and it's the children. And yeah, it's not very. I don't know. Like this unmasking.
What if it's also the parents?
Oh no! I find that like so annoying. I don't know why. Like my guess was, what's the movie where is it Stage Fright? I thought it was going to be like Stage Fright where there was more than one.
There's like
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, like
I
half a
thought-
million.
I'd got that the children were the thing and the parents were the thing, but I didn't know they were working together. Because to me that was a couple. Like to me, the parents were doing it because they didn't want their children to be so bratty. The children were doing it because they didn't want anyone else to get the hats.
But did they know that? Because did they know that they were the other ones or not?
Yeah, I think it was.
Because the parents were like, we could have done it without. We would have done it if it wasn't for our meddling kids. But then
I feel like didn't the kids start it and then they got involved or something? But ultimately, all 4 were working together.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just some bad parenting. Don't let your kids get involved in crime.
yeah, surely there's better ways to discipline your kids than.
Then like, hey, let's all commit crime together. Yay! Destruction of 5 properties with
great
cannonballs. Why not?
I'm from like a half Indian
family
background.
that-
I would have just been chased with a slipper. I wouldn't have been dressing up like a pirate.
You know the saying though, like a family that commits crime together stays together,
Stays together.
in jail.
Yeah, in the jail zone.
Behind bars.
Oh, but then everyone getting arrested at the end, it's just terrible. Like, they didn't need to overcomplicate the plot. I don't know why the police needed to be doing what they were doing.
Oh
But
yeah, I
then
forgot about them as well. The police.
one incompetent police officer turns up with someone that was arrested like an hour and a half ago attached to their wrist, like, "Hey, we're here on holiday." Oh, arresting 6 people while having 1 convict attached to me. I can do that.
Did none of them try and resist? That
Yeah,
surprises
wouldn't you
me.
resist arrest? Wouldn't you just run? If there's 1 policeman and they've
I don't
already
think we
got
can-
someone
I
to
don't
pay
think any of us
you
can
can't
publicly
say
admitting
that.
to resisting arrest.
Okay, no, you're right, you can't say that. But if you're on a villain level of the villains in Scooby, like, you know you're doing jail time. I feel like if you've got such an incompetent police officer, you've not been read your rights or anything, you've barely had chance to blame the meddling kids, you wouldn't just let this 1 incompetent police officer get it so easy.
I'd kick him.
No.
It was just a bit silly.
I can promise you, if I ever get arrested in the future, no matter what I've done or not done, I'm saying I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. It'll be on the record. I'll probably be persecuted for it somehow for like making jokes or admitting to something.
Perverting the course of justice, I think
I'm
it's called.
saying, and nothing can stop me from saying it. You'll record me doing it as well. Accuse me of something, Millie, and we'll say.
Okay.
We'll make it a video.
And then they find all the treasure, and it's like, woo, yay.
Oh, I like that.
Wasn't it in the ship?
Yeah, it was in like the mermaid in the hull, and I like how they draw
because it was part of the poem.
attention to it in the painting, and I actually like that.
You know how I said that I'm like
Miserable.
very miserable and like matter of fact.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna say when the front of that ship smashed through a rock cave, it would have hit the front of the ship hard enough that that thing would have broken open then.
No, Lego's quality like that.
I'm just miserable with this. I feel like
You're playing games.
it's just not appreciated by me enough. But yeah, for me that concludes my notes. I have skipped over most of this movie, but I've enjoyed the tangents.
Yeah, man.
Anybody, anything to add before we go to verdict?
Nah, I'm chill.
I'm ready to sleep, so let's get on.
I'm so sorry.
Let's go. Arg.
Right, so as always, JayBee, we're starting with you. Scooby Doo, Beach, Bash, Blowout, something. Smash or pass?
You know what? I'm actually not kidding. I think I had fun enough to smash it because I'd watch it again. It didn't bore me. It didn't upset me. It was just bland. It's the lowest of smashes, but I'm still gonna smash this one. I'm actually being honest. It was fun for me. Millie,
Good job for being optimistic.
would you smash or pass Scooby Doo, Blowout, Beach, Bash?
Okay, so I think that it's very... You can't watch it and keep... I feel like I can't watch it and keep my brain in gear at the same time. I just need to like let my brain go if I'm going to enjoy it. But at the same time, I feel like if I do shut my brain off enough, I could rewatch it. I saw the little Teen Beach Movie parallels, which I kind of enjoyed. I'm actually agreeing with JayBee, surprisingly, that for me this is the lowest level of smash possible, but it is a smash. I'd watch it again. So, I feel like that was 2 shock revelations. Smash. Would you say smash or, as if we don't know, would you say smash or pass for Scooby Doo Blowout Beach Bash?
Let me tell you. Okay. Okay. This movie. First of all, when this movie came out, I legit had to hunt for it. I don't know why, but I literally went to 3 different stores, and finally at the last store, I was like, I had to go ask a worker and be like, I don't even know if I want this movie at this point, but where the frick is it? And they even had a hunt for it. So that just puts a great mood to begin this movie, as I couldn't even find it. But I watched it. I was like, okay, that was a movie. Then my sister had a child. His name is Trail. And I introduced him to Scooby Doo. And I already said he loves the Curse of the Speed Demon movie. He also loves this one, and I can't tell you how many times I have seen this movie against my own will, because I can't say no to the child, because I want him to like Scooby-Doo, but why? He calls this one the Pirates movie, and I'm like, bro, let me show you a good pirate movie. I bring that one out, and he's like, no. And so, how many times have I watched this movie? Probably, it's getting up to the point of Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, which we all know how I feel about that one. Love it to death. We'll watch that one, no problem. This one, however, I have memorized against my own will and do not want to have that as part of my history of life. And yet, here we are. But it's fine. We're going to make the best of it. Listen, this movie is just boring to me. I don't like it. I don't need it. It's okay if people love it or enjoy it. I can see it's a fun movie, but with the amount of times that I've watched it at this point, I don't care for it. It's not to say it's a bad movie, just to me it is boring. And I really need to pee, so I'm gonna say pass. And
Rhianna, finally, for you, is this a smash or pass?
Okay, so I have watched it a couple of times ages ago. Can barely remember any of it, partially because it's so late or early, depending on how you look at the world and its time cycle thing that happens. You know what? I just want to sleep. I would probably smash it because I'd watch it again because I want to know exactly what we were talking about. But also because I'll have. I'm so giggly. I'll also.
Well, blueberries.
It's reached. Sorry, it's reached that stage where I'm just. Everything is funny. I'm sorry. But I'll remember everything we spoke about and complained about, so that will get me through the movie. So yeah, I'll smash it. And I'm done for tonight.
Okay, so thank you so much to Smash and Rhianna for your time. Like we said,
we've actually got lots of community news. I'm just kidding. There's no community news.
For the next 2 weeks community news, check out the next episode. I feel like everyone's far too tired.
We're on hiatus now.
It's nearly 4:30 a.m. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone's listening. As always, thank you to Smash and Rhianna for all your time today. Rhianna, I'm so sorry this was thrown at you last minute. You've been amazing. Smash your links are in the description.
Listen to Marty Grabstein interview.
Yeah. Marty Grabstein comes out on the same day as this.
Yeah, but later on. Stay tuned.
So yeah, do that.
Listen to it. It's really good.
Happy New Year, everybody, and do the
Happy
jinky.
New Year!
Do the jinky. Do the jinky. Do the jinky. Do the jinky. Do the jinky.